Yesterday we were seeing about joins, how to use joins inside BODS, and then data cleansing. So today we will see how to import files. So if you have flat files that you would like to import, so we will see different options available for readers and loaders. What are the different options that are available for readers as well as for loaders? Log into the system. So let us open BODS 4.2, which is Data Services Workbench. Data Services 4.2 Workbench. So inside the workbench, if you notice here, at the data flow, we have readers and we can see loaders. Reader, you have table reader, we have file readers. So what is a table reader? Use table reader to read data from a data store table. Means it is the source of data. You can read data from a data store table. And here we see file reader. Use file readers to read data from a delimited text file. For a delimited text file, use file reader to read data from a delimited text file. So from text files you can read data, from tables we can read data. We can load data to a table. These are physical tables. Use table loader to load data to an existing data store table. It means that the target tables are already existing. Use template table loader to automatically create and load to a table. So this table automatically creates based on the source table and load data to the table. Template table. And then file loader. Use file loader to load data to an existing delimited text file. To an existing delimited text file which is physically existing. So this file is physically existing. And template file which is not physically existing. So simply to say, for template we see template table and template file. For loaders we see table loader and file loader. So one is a table, the other one is a file. Both are loaders. Template, template, table and file. So for table and file, you have template tables and template files. And for loader, you can use table or a file loader. You can read from table or a file. To read table from file, table or a file. To load table or a file, and that could be template, that could be physical. So physical ones are in blue color. You see the physical ones are in blue color and template ones are in white color. So when you would like to load a file to HANA using BODS, we can also directly import files to HANA. So we will see both these exercises. So click on Start, click Hana Studio, click OK. Click File, click Import. Here we would see data from local file. You can directly import data from .csv, .xls, .xlsx files to local system. Data from a local file. Or you can use a file reader. But what is the advantage of loading using BODS and loading to HANA? In BODS, when you get this file, you can transform this file. But in HANA, we only import the transformed file. For example, now here you have file loader. Now this is the output of the file. So output of the file you can use to import into HANA Studio. Or directly you have a transformed file, you can still import. So both the options are same, but in BODS you can transform and send to HANA. In HANA, it's already transformed file you would import to HANA system. First we'll see in BODS. So we already have a project. Right click on the project, new, flat file format. I click on flat file format. Automatically import file formats from the existing files. So I'll click next. It's asking me to add files. Click add file. So we need to see any files we have. So this is one file we have. Let me open this file. We'll see what data we have in this file. We have company code and gross revenue. So we'll close this and we will double click. We'll double click on this. So we have the file now with the extension .csv. And click finish. So once we finish, so here you have the text file. Here you see the text file. Drag and drop this text file into the data flow editor. So I'll select the file, drag and drop this file into the data flow editor. But you have to make sure that this data flow editor that you're dragging and dropping should be from the same project. You see, this editor that you're dragging and dropping should be in the same. If you drag and drop to a different project, it doesn't allow. For example, you see there are different data flow editors over here. All the different data flow editors. Now if I drag and drop to any of the editor which is not created on the project, you see, when I drag and drop, it doesn't take it as a source. So we need to have a data flow editor which is belonging to this project. So drag and drop, make it as a source. You can make this as source something like this. Just dragging and drop and making as a source, or the other way is file reader. So when I drag and drop a file reader, file format, I can select this file format from here. Or you can just drag and drop the file. So this is nothing but called as file reader, to read the files, and click OK. So automatically it becomes a source. But when you drag and drop, you have two options: whether to make it as a target, which is known as file loader, or make it as a source, which is known as file reader. File reader import as a source, file loader import as a target. I would like to read, so I'll take it as a source. And select query transform. Drag and drop the query transform. Link file to query. And query to template table. Drag and drop the template table. Data store. Select as Hana. Table owner. Owner of the table. Owner of the table is best. Table name jet copa underscore table underscore data. And click OK. And link query to the template table. I'll click on query. I'll open the query. So here we have, I'll drag and drop both of them. Company code, both company code, and so I'll just, you can change the data type. You can change the length. So you have an option to change these. You can change these data types and lengths. You can change the description. You can change the description. And finally, in the template table, this is the target table that is going to get created. And this file, which is existing on the C drive, C users HANA user desktop, this file is going to create a table in HANA. I'll save and click execute. And click finish. So once we finish, the job is being executed, preparing to execute the job. View trace log, completed successfully. So this is the name of the file, name of the table. I'll copy the table name. I'll go to HANA. I'll go to the schema, the catalog best, expand. Right click on the tables folder, click filters, copy paste the table, whole word, and click OK. Right click on tables, open data preview. So this is the data that is loaded. And this is the data on the file. So we can execute these files from BODS. So it can create a table in HANA. So let us see the second method. The second method, we'll go to Hana Studio. So directly in the Hana Studio, click File, click Import, click Import. Select a data from local files. Click Next. Select the system. Click Next. So here we have define import properties. Select CSV file or Excel file to upload data. So here you have source file. In the source file, select file. Header rows exists. Import all data. Target table. In the target table we have schema and name of the table. Here you have an existing table. So first we need to select the file which is the source file. So from where you want to load, click browse and select the file. So I'm taking an Excel file. I'll double click on the file. So here you find the Excel file. Header rows exists. You can import all data. Schema. I'll select the schema. the schema is best, and provide the table name. And table name is Jed Copa underscore data underscore file. So this is the name of the table. So this is the name of the schema. So here you can select the worksheet. In Excel you can have multiple worksheets. You can select the sheet, import all data from file, whatever the header rows that exist in the file. You can take the header row. So we're creating a new table. We're creating a new table and click next. So once we click next, here we would see manage table definition and data mapping. Manage table definition for new tables and source target column mapping. So this is the source file and this one is the target table. So you can choose whether you want column store or row stores. You can change the data type. What is the data type? You can choose the mapping. If you want to delete, you can delete the mapping. And you can remap again. Right click, add join. Right click on the column, add join, select the column name, click OK. Or you can just drag and drop. So here you can insert new columns. Here you have, click on the plus icon. You can insert a new column. For example, I would like to insert a fixed column. I can rearrange the columns. I can take to the top. I can give a constant value, default mapping. Mapping, I'll give it as default as India. I'll give the default mapping as India. So for all rows, it populates the country India. And this is the mapping for company code. And this is the mapping for gross revenue. So this is the target table properties. You can define the scaling factor. You can change the scaling factor and click next. So once you click next, here you see the source file from where it is picking up, what is the target table it is going to create, and which schema it is going to create. Click finish to confirm. I'll click finish. Once I click finish, importing flat file completed successfully. Double click. So here you have source, target, table created. What is the name of the table? Mapping of the table. How many records have been inserted into the table? You can see the statistics. You can see the statistics of the file. And click OK. So we'll copy the table name. I'll click OK. Right click on tables, filter, copy paste the table. So this is the table that is created by system. So 3 columns, right click. So you can use to quickly create tables. You want to do some prototyping. You want to create some data models. quickly you want to showcase to business and you do not have any data provisioning method. Now we install HANA Studio, but we don't have any data provisioning method. So we can use this method to quickly import tables, create some data models, insert some data, get data from external source systems in the form of files, and we can import to HANA. Just right click and open data preview. Now when you import, for example, if you try to insert few more records into the table, I can append data. So we can append data to a file. I'll click file, click import again, data from local file, click next, instance, next. Here we select file, same procedure, I'm doing it again. But what this time I'm doing is I'm going to take an existing table. So here we have the file and then I'll click on existing. In the existing, select table. Select the table. Select the schema. And select this is the table. Click OK. Header rows exists. Import all data. Click next. So once for an existing imported table, already for the table which is already imported, we cannot change. We cannot change the data type, we cannot change the length. So all these properties are disabled for an existing table. Just we can map. So here you can provide if you want to import specific rows in a table. Point here is the main point I'm trying to show you here is one is to import files and second thing is we cannot change already imported files. We cannot change the structure already which is an existing table which is already imported. Click next. So this is from the existing table and this is from the, so this you can format here. It's actually picking up from Excel this way. You can format in Excel and click finish. So it is picking up from the source in such a format. You can always change the format in Excel. So when you right click on the file, so basically it appends data. It appends data to an existing file. So we can import files using BODS. You can transform, you can change the metadata, you can add new columns. You can merge data from SAP or non-SAP systems, from files. There is also another way to create tables quickly in HANA. So right click on tables, just right click on table, click new table. Suppose say you want to create your own tables. You do not want to take from ECC. You have some idea and then you want to quickly create few tables. You can create your own table. You can enter data type length. So this is scaling factor, comma 3. So this is a scaling factor. If you want, you can take it as a key. You can create a row store, you can create a column store. If you want, you can indicate this as key. But it is not mandatory. For a column store table, keys are not mandatory. So column table created. So this is the name of the table. This is quickly to create tables in HANA Studio. Filters. So right click, open content. Table is empty. It doesn't have any data. Structure is created. I'll right click on the table just to insert few records in table quickly. Right click on table generate. Click insert statement. Click on insert statement. Here you can insert few records. Click execute. So I inserted one record. I'll insert second one. I inserted second record. So right click on the table, open data preview. So inserted few records in the table. Open the definition. So this is the definition. You can create a view on top of table. Just right click on the table. You can generate visualize SQL. So this is the select statement. Select statement, execute. So this is the output of a table. Just right click on the table, generate, select statement. So it's selecting required columns to the output. Or you can just right click on the table, open definition. Or you can generate Visualize SQL. Click Visualize SQL. You can see this in the visualization. You can even create views over here. You can add joins. You can add a join, insert another table, insert a join. But these views that we're creating are not information views, but these are database views. So insert table. So I just created one table. We imported one table now. So we can add this table. We can basically take two different tables and just create joins between this table. I can create join type. We can select right outer join or left outer join. So this is a database view. What I'm creating here is a database view. You can select columns for the output. Right click on the column, select KNDNR, select BUKRS, select VV010. You can execute this view. So this is the output of the view once you execute. And this is the Visualize SQL. It means that we do not have to write any code. Just using a Visualize SQL, you can quickly join two tables. You can see the results of the table. Now this view we are creating in the schema. So these are database views. You can arrange. So if you want, you can insert more tables. So left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. None is equi-join. None is nothing but equi-join. By default, it takes the equi-join, which is inner join. So we can import tables using BODS. You can import tables directly from HANA. You can right click and create new tables. You can just create a sample view. You can create some sample views, see quick results. All these things we can do in the and the same kind of joins you can also execute in query transform. The query transform you can in the ETL process. In the ETL process you can add joins. So it depends whether you want to do it in the ETL or whether you want to do it in modeling. When you have ECC powered by HANA, obviously we will do it in the modeling. And when you have sidecar scenario, you would like to do in the ETL process, we can do in the BODS level. So any questions for today's session? So today was just to show you how we can create tables in HANA using flat file method. So tomorrow we'll see a few more options here and what is template file and file loader. Template file is, it does not have the structure. There is no structure in the file, just it is an empty file. We populate structure to the file. So you have a file which is already having a header, a file which does not have a header. File which does not have a header is template file. File which has header is file loader. But you have to give the path of the file, to which file we would like to load. That is template file. When there is no header, it becomes template file. When you have header, it is file loader. Similar to template table and table loader. Table loader, when you already have the structure in the table and you do not have structure, it is generating in runtime. Template table, file loader. So tomorrow we will see one exercise on how to import data to an existing table. Until today we see tables creating in runtime. If you already have a table in HANA, so there's a different method to load data into this. We use something called a selective import of metadata. We click File, click Import. Here we have selective import of metadata. Only we import the metadata. So this is a table which is imported from ECC to HANA without data. So in this case, we are not using template table. We create a table and then load data into the table. So select this option to import selected table definitions from ERP source system using SAP Business Objects Data Services into SAP HANA database. So we only talk about the definitions of a table. You only take the definition of a table, but template table loads definition and data both together. But this one first the definition and data later. Selective import of metadata. Participants may have any questions. Please type in your questions. I'll read out your question and answer your question. Thank you. So here we have a question. When we create a DB view, is it available in SysBI? Only information views are available. DB views are directly available in the views folder in the schema. The schema you have views folder. So directly the DB views are available in the views folder in the schema. They're available in the views folder in schema. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll see you in tomorrow's session to continue BODS transformations. Thank you.